it's Kyle from Love Always Makeup. It is a brand new brush from the Pro series of Sephora, which if you haven't tried their brushes, I highly suggest you do. They are very, very nice quality. But the brush I'm talking about is this one right here. It is a pretty thick brush. This is a foundation brush is what they're recommending. Here's the back where you can see the number 78, and then it has the name of the brush back here. Here's the bristles on the brush. I originally went to Sephora about a week ago. I had seen this brush online, you know, down below when you click on their website, they have like all those new products. I had seen it then and clicked on it because it's just a unique brush. I've never seen anything that really looks like it in this shape or anything. And then when I went into the store probably about a week ago, they had them right at the very front. So the first thing I did was walk over and touch it, and I was blown away with how soft it was. But this being a foundation brush, I was a little uneasy about it because I've never used anything like this, and I tend to really like to stick to my beauty blender, or, you know, I'm just a creature of habit like most people are. If you have something that's working for you, why mess it up? You know what I mean? But I actually got the opportunity to go to a foundation class at Sephora, and if you guys don't know about those classes, they're completely free. You don't have to be VIB Rouge or use any of your points. You could never even have been in a Sephora before. All you need to do is go online, and you're gonna find your local store, and then you can click on events, and they'll have different classes that you can sign up, like about eyeshadow, foundation, eyeliner, pretty much you name it. Depending on your area is going to depend on how often the classes are. But what's great about the classes is the store is completely shut down. So it's like being a kid in a candy store because you can literally try and play with anything in the entire store. Like, choo choo, yes. Like, so the brush is $38. And what Sephora says it is a large brush with a pointed head shape and super fine synthetic fibers for high definition coverage and finishing effects. What it does, the synthetic fibers of this brush grasp liquid formula without fully absorbing it, giving maximum and even product payoff on the skin for optimum coverage with minimal product waste. We'll see about that. The large pointed shape allows it to reach the delicate and detailed areas of the face around the eyes and nose. It is ideal for finishing and blending out, also to cover larger areas with broad sweeps and for buffing to a flawless finish. Each brush is made with over 100,000 bristles and is large enough for the neck and décolleté application. So we're going to test out 3 things with this brush. Number 1, does it give a flawless airbrush finish as it's claiming? Number 2, does it use less product? It claims that it's going to absorb less liquid foundation into the brush. And then number 3, does this brush make it easier to use and cut out having to use excess brushes, because it's saying because of the pointed shape you should be able to get into your nose and other areas with ease without having to reach for another brush. So those are the 3 things that we're going to try out with this brush. So let's go ahead and get into it. The foundation that I'm going to use today is my Estee Lauder Double Wear, and that's because this is one of my absolute favorite foundations. I don't want to use a brand new foundation with this. I want to use something that I know exactly what the finish normally looks like if I'm using a beauty blender or another brush or something like that, so that I can really fairly judge how well this brush does. Okay, so I'm just going to take some of that foundation off the back of my hand with my brush. So that's the roll motion that they're talking about. But to me, it just seems like that would take so long to do your whole face with. I'm just used to the dabbing motion. Sue me. So with this brush, you can dab it, and then you can also blend out, which is nice. It does reach a large area because of how large the brush is, so you're going to get really quick coverage. I'm sure you guys saw I had a really large zit right here when we first started, like right there in the crack of my nose. And I just took a little dab like this, and it, as you can see right there, I mean, it targeted that exact area like a regular concealer precision brush would. So that's another great plus about this brush, is you don't feel the need to grab another brush just to get in those kind of tighter quarter areas that, you know, maybe the flat top kabuki or something else can't quite get in as well. Because this brush is so soft, it's an excellent brush to use around your eyes as well. You're not going to have to use something else in that area either, because it is so soft. You don't have to worry about it tugging or pulling, or we've all had those brushes where they like literally poke in that area. This brush is so soft, you definitely don't have any of that. I'm so sorry if you guys can hear my kids in the background. They just woke up from a nap and are eating lunch. And they get a little bit excited. So far I'm really loving how this brush has applied everything. It's definitely very smooth and nice. I'm going to take a little bit of what's left on the back of my hand and just pull this down the neck. So here's a look at the finished foundation with our number 78 Pro Airbrush buffing brush. Since this brush did so well on the nooks and crannies areas with the foundation, I do want to see how it is going to handle like a concealer slash highlight where you are in a much smaller, more targeted area. In with our same number 78 brush. It's definitely applying everything very evenly, very smoothly, and does a great job of placing the product and then buffing it out all at once.
Alrighty, so now the real test is up in here. I know that this whole routine has been way faster than it normally would be when I'm using all of my other brushes, but I definitely wanted to see how it would act, like especially right in this area right here. Is it going to be able to blend it all out?
And from the look of that side, I think it did a really good job blending everything out.
This side over here. I know that this brush is really large, but it definitely, if there's a certain little spot that you want it to go, it can definitely get in there with no problem.
I think it did a phenomenal job with the concealer highlight. I'm really impressed with that. I definitely don't see any streakiness or it didn't like move the product around too much and create a sheerness effect. I'm going to go ahead and finish putting the rest of my makeup on. Then I'm going to come back and give you my final thoughts on the number 78 Pro Airbrush Buffing. All right, so I'm back. I finished applying the rest of my makeup, and I just want to kind of come in a little bit closer so you can see one more look at how the foundation looks and how it looks after it's been applied with the Pro Airbrush Buffing brush. So just a little recap on my final thoughts about this brush. At $38, I think it's a tremendous value. Is it completely life-changing? No, you don't need to stop what you're doing and run out and get it. But if you are in the market for a new foundation brush, I definitely think this is a top contender. I'm gonna have to continue to use it more to see if it would really beat out my beauty blender, but I did really enjoy how it applied today, the finished look. It does look very airbrushed. I really enjoy how it used less product and absorbed less product. It made me feel so much better to almost see like a clean brush. I think that that is going to save me money in the long run. I really love what a multitasker this brush is, how you can really do your concealer with this, you could do your contour with this, you could do your blush with this, you could do your highlight with this. You could literally do your entire face with this minus your eyeshadow. So if you're one of those people who really likes to have the less is more lifestyle, this is going to be way up your alley because it really eliminates a whole jar of brushes. Not only that, it's very well made. The Pro line from Sephora is extremely high quality. It feels high quality. It's amazing in the hand. You can definitely tell that this brush is going to be flawless for years to come. If you guys would like to see how this applies with powder product, because I do think this would be great for like a mineral or a loose powder foundation, or even setting your foundation with a translucent setting powder. If you guys are interested in that video, please let me know in the comment section and I'd be happy to film it for you. A brush like this, because it's so thick, when you wash it, you don't want to lay it flat. You definitely want to hang it upside down so that the water is not sitting in the core. So make sure you hang it upside down. I will say there is one drawback to this brush, and that is this rounded tip handle. Because this is so thick, if you want to put it in a jar or something, it is going to take up a lot of space. So naturally, I just kind of want to set it on my vanity, but because of that rounded end, it's just going to completely fall over. So just a little side note. I had so much fun hanging out with you guys. Please don't forget to subscribe so we can hang out again soon. And until next time, bye.